Hello and welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint Show. I am your host, Jay Jones. Black Entrepreneur Blueprint was created specifically to educate and inspire Black entrepreneurs to launch, build, and grow successful businesses. Join us as we help build an economic power base in the Black community by promoting business ownership. If you are currently an entrepreneur or want to be an entrepreneur, we invite you to join us every week here at Black Entrepreneur Blueprint.
Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, episode number 325. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and today we have another outstanding and informative show in store for you. Today's show topic, family, is how to build multiple streams of income by creating a platform. How to build multiple streams of income by creating a platform. Now, last week, the show topic was how to build multiple streams of income, 7 tips. And the number one tip was to build or create your own platform. And I'm telling you, family, I think that is the number one concept that you need to understand and implement if you're looking to build a sustainable business long term. This is a long game. So this concept isn't a get rich quick overnight. What tends to happen is most people come up with a product, then they will put it on Amazon or eBay, Etsy or whatever. They'll drive traffic to it or use Amazon pay-per-click and they'll sell a product. Now, yes, you can do that. But the issue is, have you built a community? Have you built a platform to communicate with your customers and your prospective customers? Have you educated them? So if you're really looking for the long game, you really need to build a platform. And we're going to talk about a very simple way to build a platform today that doesn't require a lot of effort. So I'm going to give you some tools and I'm going to show you how to leverage content that's already out there to create your own platform. Now, before we get to today's episode, I just want to share a few things with the BEB family. First and foremost, I want to welcome all first-time listeners to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family. Please stick around until the end of today's broadcast, and I'm going to share all my social media contact information and my entrepreneur resource links, such as the link to my new book, A New Black Wall Street, Circulating the Black Dollar Worldwide by Building Successful E-Commerce Businesses, and 2 platforms I've created to help circulate dollars in the worldwide Black economy, Be Smart by Black and HireBlackFreelancers.com. All right, so let's get at it, family. Today, we're talking about how to build multiple streams of income by creating a platform. Now, if you didn't listen to last week's show, episode 324, go back and check it out because it'll give you some foundational information about what we're going to talk about today. So last week, the show was titled How to Build Multiple Streams of Income, 7 Tips. Tip number 1 was build your platform first. Tip number 2 was to create income streams from what you already do. Tip 3 was have income streams for every economy. Good economy, bad economy, and neutral economy. Tip 4, all income streams don't have to be large income streams. Tip 5, keep it simple, don't overthink it. Tip 6, solve problems. Tip 7, if you can automate your multiple revenue streams, you're better off. But once again, tip number 1, build your platform first. And once again, guys, I say this all the time. So you see a lot of these gurus talking about $1 million launches, right? And so, oh yeah, I created a launch and within 24 hours, I earned $1 million. And the difference between $1 million launch and $100 launch is only the database. It's the platform. So if you have a platform and you have 50,000 email addresses and you have multiple people following you on social media and you launch a product or, a digital or physical product, it's just a function of the numbers versus somebody that has no database, no platform, and they're just running ads to their product or service. Now, yes, you can make money doing that, but doesn't it just make sense to build a platform? If you're in the business for the long term, for the long game, for trying to build a sustainable business, you need to build a platform and a community so you can communicate, like I said up front, with your prospects and also your customers. So for example, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, the podcast, that is a platform. So anytime I come out with new products or services that the BEB family want, I'm automatically talking to my network. I'm talking to the people on my platform. I'm talking to the BEB family members. That's building a platform, and it takes a long time to build a platform. But today we're going to talk about some easy workarounds or some hacks that you can quickly and easily build your own platform without having to create a whole bunch of content. So that's the premise of today's show, guys, being able to create a platform. So once again, the benefit of a platform is you're talking to specific people that have an interest in whatever you're talking about. And we're going to go through some examples later on in today's show. All right, so let's start breaking down first why building a platform is important. So a platform, once again, is a place where people come to get specific types of information. So in order to build a brand or sustainable business, you need to build a platform to connect with your customers and prospective customers. For example, ESPN is a platform where people go to get sports news. You have niche websites out there where people go and get information about the specific niches that they're interested in. So I tell you guys all the time, I'm a big fight fan. So one of the sites I go to is fighthype.com. So I get a whole bunch of fight information right there. So once again, that's building a platform. Now, the other biggest component of a platform is you must own your platform. If you're going to build something for yourself. I always see people out there saying, oh, I have an Amazon business, right? It means they're selling their physical products on Amazon. Amazon is it's not a business. Okay, that's just a delivery mechanism. All right, so you must own your platform. And the main platform you should own is your website. Okay, not Amazon, not YouTube, not eBay, not Etsy, not Facebook, not Instagram, not Twitter, not TikTok, whatever. All right, now you can sell on those platforms and get followers on those platforms, but you don't have control over those platforms. So you need to grab a domain name and create your own website. So for example, if they kick you off of Facebook and that's where you're building your platform, guess what? You're out of luck, right? They kick you off of Instagram, YouTube, or whatever. You need to be able to control your main platform. Right now, if you're doing anything like blogging on your platform, you need a WordPress site. And we'll talk about that a little later. All right, so you have to own the actual platform. Now, why do you need to own the platform? Because it all comes down to control, family. You control the content on your website, all right? You can control everything on your own site. I told you guys before, so any longtime listeners, you probably heard this before, but just indulge me, bear with me for a second. When I was bringing out my first product on Amazon, my flat irons were out in 2014, 2015. What happened was it was the only product I had and the only channel I was selling it on was Amazon. And so somebody made a complaint that said that, hey, the product that I got wasn't the same that was advertised. And that couldn't have been true because Amazon was doing all of my fulfillment. So I was using fulfillment by Amazon. So my product gets shipped to me. Then I ship the product to Amazon. And when somebody buys it, Amazon does the picking, the packing, and the shipping. So it was the middle of November, right in Q4. I'm rocking like crazy and I get a notice and Amazon tells me your product has been suspended, meaning that it's not showing up when people search for it. And I'm like, what's going on? And they said, well, there's a discrepancy. Somebody made a complaint that your product page doesn't match up to your product. And of course, I knew that was wrong because I ship all my products to Amazon and they do the shipping. So what happened was it took them 7 days. They had to physically go into every warehouse, Amazon warehouse where my product was, and physically inspect all the inventory. And I probably had about 300 units spread out through Amazon at that time. It took 7 days. And my average sales per day was over $1,500 to $1,700 a day. So I lost about $7,000 to $9,000 for those 7 days that product was in suspense. Once they finally got to it and said, okay, yeah, everything is fine, then they turned my stuff back on. But once again, I didn't own that platform. So be very careful. Once again, I know with social media out here, people like, oh, I got, 50,000 IG followers. I got all this social media following. That's fine. You need to leverage that too, but you need to leverage that social media following to get email addresses. And yes, I know people think email is dead, but it's the surefire way to connect with people. And if you give people what they want via email, trust me, your open rates will increase. All right. So now in terms of creating your own platform, which is a website, so there's a ton of different options for your website. But in terms of SEO, search engine optimization, WordPress is bar none the number one, especially if you want to do blogging and you want to get some additional traffic, organic traffic, creating blog posts and all of that good stuff. Now, you need to build a relationship with your community, and you do that certain ways. And that's really by creating content for your community. And there's only 3 types of content, guys. There's written, there's audio, and there's video content. So if your platform, once again, is your website, but you do a lot of stuff on YouTube, that's fine if you do videos, and we'll talk about that. What you want to do is you want to have your website, jjones.com or whatever you want to call it, and you can have links out to your YouTube videos on your website. You can have your videos on YouTube, but you house everything, almost like a catch-all on your main website, and people can link out from your main website. So God forbid you get kicked off of YouTube, people come to your main website, you can put videos up on Vimeo, Amazon S3 or whatever. They still will be able to see your videos. So you want to make your site valuable, okay? You're not trying to make other platforms valuable. You're leveraging those platforms, okay? All right, so once again, just think back to that Amazon tale that I just told you. It was my only sales channel, and it was only one product I had. Yes, I had a website for the product, but I didn't market it and I didn't promote it at all. So nobody would find the website unless they saw the product on Amazon and decided to go to the website. Okay, so I'm talking about building a relationship with your community, and your community basically is created by having a platform. Now, the communication, once again, is either written, audio, or video. Now, video is the highest form of content. So you can take a video and you can strip the audio out of it, and you can use it as an audio file. And you can strip it down even more and get somebody to transcribe it, so they can transcribe your actual audio conversations to be written. But that's the highest form of content. So if you're very comfortable with writing, you can write articles or blog posts. You can do a book or ebook. You can do a written case study. You can do a newsletter and more. If audio is your thing, you can create a podcast like Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. You can create an audio book. You can do an audio case study. And you can also do audio updates and other types of things. For video, of course, you can do video case studies, how-to videos, video newsletters, and also video commentary. So there are a lot of very popular YouTube channels and shows out there. All they're doing is commenting on what's going on, in current events. So you can have that too. But once again, you need your base to be your website. Okay. What you want to do, guys, is you want to funnel your leads to your content to build that relationship. And what do I mean by that? So to build that platform, once again, you need to funnel your leads into your content so you can build that relationship. So you need to make sure that you funnel each of your leads to your content to build. All right. So number 1, plug them into your content. So if you have a podcast, you can create a lead magnet that says, hey, subscribe to my weekly podcast. Enter your email here. You're plugging them into your content. All right. If you have a blog or newsletter, do the same thing. Subscribe to my blog or weekly newsletter. Enter your email here. You're plugging them into your content. If you have a vlog or YouTube channel, do the same thing. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Put your email here or hit the subscribe button. So what you want to do, you want to create a platform that has content. That's the way you communicate with your customers and prospective customers. And what you want to do is you want to plug people into that content. And we're going to talk about a very simple way to create content where you don't have to physically write everything down every week. So if you're going to do a newsletter, you don't have to write 8 stories that you're going to have to get out to your people, for the people that are on your platform. So we're going to talk about that. So one of the things you want to do, guys, is provide consistent content and value. So to connect to your community, you must provide consistent content and value. And make sure not every time you contact people, be it email or whatever, that you're asking for something. It's about giving. You want to provide value. You don't want to just every time you send out an email or connect with your people, you're asking for money. And these are just a couple of tips. Number 2, make sure your community knows when to expect the content. So you know every Monday morning, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, you're going to get new heat from Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. People know it comes out Monday morning, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, ask your community what they want to learn. What do you want to learn? So a lot of the courses and programs in the BEB Academy and some of the programs that I create, that's because the BEB community asked me, hey, man, I need to go deeper on this. Can you put together something? So that's where a lot of the content comes from. So the community will tell you what they want to learn. Number 4, don't pitch a sale, like I said, every time you connect with your community. You got to give. It's about service. It's not about trying to sell every time you talk to people. Number 5, don't bombard people with too much content where they start to be unresponsive. That's one of the reasons why I only drop the show once a week. You know, there's some podcasts out there that drop every day. And after a while, it just becomes, it's too much to catch up on. So once again, you don't want to bombard people with all the content. Number 6, know how they like to be contacted and use a multimedia approach. So some people like social media. So you put out, hey, you know, when every time we have a new episode comes out, I'll put it out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and all of that, linking to the episode. So know how people like to be communicated with. But you need to have a multimedia approach, audio, video, and written. Okay. Now, so why do you need content? Now, as we mentioned earlier, you need content to engage your community. So once again, think about some of the websites that you go to on a consistent basis. Why do you go there? You're looking for content, right? So you could be a wine aficionado and you go to a website or somewhere that talks about wine. And I'm going to give you some real life examples that are going to knock your socks off in terms of the volumes and the revenues associated with some of these sites. So, you know, you need content. You want to drive traffic to your site. You want to build trust, and then you become a valued source of information. That's why you need content. And we're talking about, guys, building a platform. Building a platform that is going to allow you to communicate with your customers and prospective customers. Once again, guys, this is the number one key to sustainability and longevity. Yeah, you can do one-off sales here and there. You can sell stuff for Christmas and make good money in Q4. But are you building a sustainable business? Are you looking at the long game? So building a platform is where it's at, guys. That's the number one key. You're not going to make money overnight. Recognize and understand that is not going to happen. So this is a long game. You start building that platform. You start having people that, once again, you know, that drives traffic to your site. You build trust, and then you become a valued source of information. That's what you want to do. Now, I did a show about how you can create a year's worth of content in a single day, right? So for your website or for your platform, you're going to need to create content. And I talked about a technique called content buckets. And what content buckets are, there are 4 or 5 different buckets that's the type of content that your people want to hear. So, for example, if you're a fitness trainer, right? One of your content buckets could be weight loss. Another one could be fitness. The third one could be food and nutrition. The fourth one could be workout routines. And the fifth one could be mental fitness. So under each of those 5 buckets, if you had 5 or 10 pieces of content under each one of those, that's 50 pieces of content. If you had 20 pieces of content under each one of those, you would have 100 pieces of content. And remember, your content can be written, audio, or video, or a combination thereof. So that's how you create content. And I just call them content buckets. So once again, if you're in the fitness space, you're a trainer, weight loss, 20 articles under there or 20 pieces of content. Fitness, 10, 20 pieces of content under fitness. Food, nutrition, same thing. Workout routine, same thing. And mental fitness, the same thing. That's a very easy way. So if you're creating a podcast, I do this actually for my content for the podcast. I have everything pretty much laid out at least months in advance. So if you look at my phone, I do a lot of it on my phone. When I see something or talk to people or something jogs my mind, I'll write it down. And it'll be BEB show notes and BEB show topic, and then I'll write down whatever it is. But I literally, if I pick up my phone, if somebody asks me to do a show instantaneously, I could go right on my phone. Oh yeah, here's a nice topic. Bam. And I could probably freestyle for a good 30 minutes. All right, just to have all that content, because it's something that I'm into, something that I know. So that's why you need to create content. So you need to make sure there's a reason that people are coming to your platform. Okay. So we're going to talk about a couple of ways to create content. All right. So I'm going to give you 5 ways to create content. Yes, you have the content buckets. That's basically organizing what type of content you're going to create, but you still have to create that content, right? So here's way number 1 to create content. You can document a process. Document a process. This is how you do whatever. This is how you set up a WordPress site. This is how you do push-ups the right way. This is how you do whatever. So one way is to document a process. Second way is to reteach what you hear or see. So you can read a chapter of a book and you can decode it or break it down. Reteach what you hear or see. You'll see a lot of that on YouTube. Let's break down this article. Let's break down this or whatever. Reteach what you hear or see. Another way to create content, teach what you know. Teach people how to do something. This is how you set up a sales funnel. This is how you use this software. This is how you knit this type of stitch. Teach people what you know. Another way to create content, number 4, is curate others' content. Find quality content and become the valued source of information. And we're going to talk about that a little later. Curate others' content. If you ever go to the Dredge report, DREDGE report, just Google it. Dredge report. I forgot the guy's first name, but his last name is Dredge. And all it is are literally links to news articles that he didn't even create. But that site gets so much traffic because people go there and they know instead of going to the LA Times, New York Times, USA Today, they can go to one spot and get all the information that they want. Another way to create content is do product reviews. You can review products or services. You see a lot of unboxing on YouTube. Hey, I just got this new laptop. Let me do a product review on it. Software, you see that all the time too. So these are ways that you can create content. But let's flip back the script for a minute. Remember, we're talking about building a platform, owning the platform, and your main hub should be the website. Okay? Because you control that website. Now you have to create the content so you can be of value to your customers and your prospects. And that's where we are in the process. We're talking about creating content. So I gave you content buckets, and now I gave you 5 ways to actually create the content that you're going to put in each of the content buckets. So it's not as hard as it seems if you map everything out. So if you're doing, like, for example, my show, it's 52 times a year, 1 show a week, right? That means all I need to have is 52 different topics. Now let's break it down even further. Say instead of having 52 individual topics for me doing the show by myself, out of those 52 weeks, out of 20 of those weeks, I got guests on. So now that topic is whatever I talk to about the guests. So that literally means I only have 32 weeks or 32 pieces of content that I have to create for the year. So it all depends on your frequency. Okay, but we'll talk about that a little later. All right, guys, we're about to break it down to the nitty gritty. I want to show you one of the easiest ways to build a platform and how to monetize it. One of the easiest ways how to build a platform and how to monetize it. And I'm going to give you some real life examples. Now, remember, this is a long game. This isn't a get rich quick overnight, but you want sustainability and longevity, right? So once again, you want to build a platform and create sustainable income. That is the key. Sustainable income. You don't want income in Q4 and nothing for the other 3 quarters, right? You want sustainability. Now, before we get to that, guys, I do want to share all of my social media contact information and my resource links real quick. So I mentioned at the top of the show, my new book is out, A New Black Wall Street, Circulating the Black Dollar Worldwide by Building Successful E-Commerce Businesses. Please go to anewblackwallstreet.com. Pick yourself up a physical copy for $14.95. Digital is $9.95. So if you're interested in building a successful, sustainable, that's the key word, sustainable e-commerce business, check out anewblackwallstreet.com. Now, if you need additional assistance building that successful, sustainable e-commerce business, my flagship program is out called Brand Builder Academy Elite, BBAelite.com. It takes you from point A to point Z for building a physical products brand or a digital products brand. It's 15 modules and it drops every week. And once again, it doesn't matter when you come into the program. Make sure you go to BBAelite.com and use the coupon code BBAelite100 and you'll save $100 additional dollars off. It's actually only $97. You also get a community where other people that are taking the program are, and you also get group coaching every 2 weeks. I do a live group coaching call so you can ask questions about the program, your product, your business, or just questions in general. Also, I mentioned at the top, I created 2 platforms, guys, to circulate black dollars in the worldwide black economy. The first one is BeSmartByBlack.com. If you have a product, you're a black product producer and you want to sell to black consumers, upload your product information to BeSmartByBlack.com. It is free. All right, so there's no excuse not to upload it. It's free. Now, for all you freelancers, if you do anything on Fiverr.com or Freelancer.com, same concept. Upload your information to HireBlackFreelancers.com, HIRE, BlackFreelancers.com. It is free. You can connect with black consumers and black businesses that want to hire a black freelancer. Now, also, all of this information is on BEBconnect.com, BEBconnect.com. That's a page on my website. I know I said a mouthful and I still got a little more to say because I want to give you all my social media contact information. So if you want to connect with me, anything long, hit me on my email, jjones@blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. Anytime I say J Jones, it's always spelled out, JAYJONES at blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. Facebook, just type in Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Twitter, JJones001, JAYJONES001. Instagram, JJonesForReal, JAYJONES, the number 4, REAL. YouTube, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I got additional content on YouTube. So just go to YouTube, type in Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, hit the subscribe button, and you'll be alerted anytime a new video comes out there. LinkedIn, connect with me via LinkedIn, J Jones, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Also, if you want to be connected to the BEB text line for notifications and special reminders, text BEB, like Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, to 555-888. BEB to 555-888. Now, once again, it's a mouthful. All you need to do, if you can't remember this or write it down, go to BEBconnect.com. That's a page on my website, and it'll have everything that I just put down there, all my social media contact links, and all my resource links. Now, so let's get ready to get back to showing you the easiest way to build a platform and how to monetize it. All right, so let's dive into this a little deeper. So once again, I want to show you one of the easiest ways to build a platform and how to monetize it. And once again, remember, this is a long game. It's no get rich quick overnight. Now, you're probably going to laugh at me, some of you guys, but I'm telling you, it's create an email newsletter or an industry newsletter. Not a magazine, but a newsletter, which is a lot shorter. All right, so you want to create a place where people are searching for specific information. That's where your platform comes out. That's where your platform comes into play. So your website, right? That's your home base. Now, you don't need to create the content. You can create some of the content. You can create all of the content, which is a lot of work, or you don't have to create any of the content. I gave you the example of the Dredge report. Check it out, DREDGE report.com. They don't create any content. All they do is aggregate content. All right. And so you can use other people's articles, videos, audio content, and you aggregate or curate the content. Aggregate means bring together. Curate means you're going to weed through and make sure everything that you aggregate is good enough for your platform or for your people or your community. So aggregate just means bringing it all together. But curate means now I'm going to go through each and every one of those pieces of content to see which one are the best pieces of content. So, for example, Flipboard, right? I use Flipboard for most of my news. So Flipboard, you can go in and pick different industries or different topics, and it'll curate for you or aggregate and curate for you news stories. So that's how I do a lot of my news in the morning. I'll go to CNN, I'll go to a couple places, but eventually I'm going to end up on Flipboard because that's curated specifically for me. So here's what you're going to need to create this type of income and monetize it from building your platform. Number one, you're going to need a website. All right. We talked about that. That's your home base. You know, not an Amazon page, not a page on eBay, not an Etsy page. You need a website. That's your catch-all. Okay. Next, you're going to need a landing page, and there's tons of landing page providers out there. I use ConvertKit. You got ClickFunnels. You got LeadPages.net. You got a ton of them out there. All right. Next, you're going to need a lead magnet to get people to your email newsletter. Sign up for my free newsletter. Okay. A lead magnet. Next, you want to run ads to collect emails for your lead magnet. So say, for example, you're doing something in the wine space. You're creating a newsletter about wine. Okay. You can put a Facebook link, create a Facebook page, put a link there. Hey, sign up for my new wine newsletter. And you start to get people there. But once again, you're building up a platform. And I said at the opening of the show, guys, the difference between $1 million launch and $100 launch is the database. That's it. It's not that these gurus are any smarter than any one of us, but they do recognize and understand that the numbers don't lie. So if you launch to 50,000 people versus somebody launching to 50 people, it's a function of the numbers. That 50,000, if you launch the same product with the same everything, it's a function of the numbers. If you get 10% of the people for, the 50,000 launch, that's 5,000 people buying your product or service or signing up or whatever. You get 10% of the people for a 50-person list, you get 5 people. So that's the difference. Okay. So now let's talk about the easy newsletter software. Now, it's funny, when I was doing my research, I actually used elink.io, ELINK.io, which is real good. I actually started researching another one called Rasa, RASA.io, Rasa.io and elink.io. And what elink does, because I'm obviously more familiar with that because that's what I use, you can create or click in links to videos, articles, or whatever, and it has a back engine where it will search and scour the internet, social media for the type of topics or the type of subjects that you want for your newsletter. So just using this wine newsletter, you can actually go in and put, anything about wine, bring it into my back office, and you'll get the links to the articles and videos. And then what you do is you go through that information, make sure everything that you see there looks good for your people, stuff that they want to see, and you can click and say, you know what? Here you go. These are the 8 articles for the week about wine tasting or about wine or whatever. And it automatically creates a very nice looking, I'm talking about elink.io right now, a nice looking newsletter. Now, you can obviously have your own blog posts in there. So once again, if you have a website, one of the articles or the videos could be from your post, from your site. You can bring in YouTube videos. I'm not sure if Rasa, RASA.io, allows you to do videos, but I know eLink does. Okay. So that's how you can very easily create a weekly newsletter where you're not even doing any of the content. You're bringing in content that your people want to see. Once again, it's niche related. Okay. So, for example, it turns web links and collections into email newsletters, a fast website, it's blog content, all types of stuff. But check out elink.io. Also, Rasa, RASA.io. So that's a way. I mean, literally with my newsletter, or one of my newsletters, I can create that literally. This is no joke, in 10 minutes, because everything is already in my back office. All I'm doing is looking at the articles. And the great thing is you can change the pictures. This is with eLink now. You can change the pictures of the article. So say there's an article about this particular red wine. If you're doing a wine newsletter, you can go and find a different image and put that there. So you can actually even alter the article. So you can put some of your commentary on it. This is an article by blah, 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 blah about such and such red wine, and so, yeah, you can do all types of things. So that's how you can create content. It's very easy. And this is something else too, guys, you got to think about. It's not incumbent on you to create the content. Now, if you want to create some content, you obviously can. But you literally can set this up without you creating a piece of content. You don't have to create anything. Okay? So just think about how many niches are out there. We're about to get to the monetization in a second. That's what it's all about. But just think about how many niches are out there. I got this new hot sauce coming out, right? Maybe I create a niche website about sauces and spices or whatever. If you're into Porsches, I keep telling one of my buddies, he loves Porsches. He's doing a job, working a job he can't stand right now. Create a platform that talks about Porsches, and then you can monetize by either affiliate links or selling aftermarket products or whatever. And we'll get to that in a second. But just start to think, what are some of the things that you're interested in? Are you interested in sports? Then you can create a newsletter about a specific sports team. Like I've used this example before. There's a site in Philly called bleedinggreennation.com. bleedinggreennation.com. It's all about the Eagles. 24/7, 365. They send me an email every day, and it has updated articles. And the articles, yes, they do write a few of the articles, but the majority of the content is coming from other sources. But since I'm an Eagles fan, when I see that Bleeding Green email come, that newsletter, I know it's only going to have about 6 to 8 articles, so it's not overwhelming. And I'm just going to scan through these babies. Oh, yeah, this looks like a good one. I'm going to click on that. So think about some of the niches. Think about some of the products or services that you currently sell. All right, I just gave you an example, right? So if I sell hot sauce, I can create a hot sauce newsletter, right? How do you think I can monetize that? You think my hot sauce will be in that newsletter? Heck yeah, right? So also you want to think about industries too. A big thing that people do is they create industry publications. So if you're in the travel industry, and I'm going to give you some real life examples in a second. If you're in the travel industry, right, you can create a travel newsletter. There's actually a newsletter that I get, and it's called Smarter Travel, smartertravel.com. Now, and what happens is they tell you how they monetize. So it says Smarter Travel is a participant in the Amazon Services Program, Associates Program. So they're an Amazon affiliate. And once again, when they put different pieces of suitcases and different physical products in there, it's a link out from their email to Amazon. I'm getting ahead of myself, but let's talk about the monetization, all right? And that's really the key. So first, remember, you're building a platform, and you need to communicate with your customers and prospective customers. In the example I'm giving you today, which is probably the easiest way to do this without creating content. So for me, every week, I got to create and produce a podcast, right? Now, I love what I do, but it is time consuming. Okay. If I'm doing blogs, if I'm writing all my content myself, that's time consuming. If I have a YouTube channel and I'm the one that's on YouTube, that is time consuming. So, you don't necessarily have to be the face of your blog post. So Bleacher Report, you don't know who started Bleacher Report. You don't know the 3 guys that started that, right? So that's what I'm talking about, guys. You need to be able to create content and not necessarily have to create it yourself. You're creating an actual place or a niche where people come to get information. Okay. Now let's talk about the monetization. All right. So number one, you're having people come to or receive your newsletter. It could be weekly, it could be daily, it could be whatever. So the more frequent it is, the more it's going to catch on, the faster it's going to catch on. It's a function of the numbers, okay? So you can make money by selling your own products or services via in the newsletter, right? So I use, now, of course, wine is a little different because that's something that you just can't sell out of your house to people online. It's a regulated industry. But my hot sauce, right? So I can have ads. If I had a hot sauce newsletter, I can have ads, or I can feature my hot sauce in the newsletter. Click the link to purchase it, right? So I'm selling my own products or services. I can sell affiliate products or services, just like Smarter Travel does. They said they participate in the Amazon Associates program. So when they have features on suitcases or other travel items in their articles, in their newsletter, and people click on it and it takes them to Amazon, they make money that way. And we're going to talk about some of the stupid money that some of these newsletters are making right now. Also, you have advertising revenue. So if I have a newsletter that's going to just say internet marketers, and I have 100,000 subscribers to my newsletter, if there's a software out there like, say, ClickFunnels or something like that, they would love to be able to get in front of the people that have come or get my newsletter. They want the newsletter, they trust the information, and we have a relationship. That's what the content does. It forms that relationship. And so they would like to advertise. That would be a great place to advertise. All right. Now you can also advertise jobs. And I'm going to give you an example of a publication that I get that does that. So it can be classified ads. It can be product or service ads. So you can sell your own products. You can sell affiliate stuff, or you can take advertising. All right. Let me give you some real life examples. Okay. Number one, there is a email newsletter I get. It's called Daily Clips. And it's really for the publishing industry. So newspaper publishers, magazine publishers, right? Now, their revenue streams are employment ads and classified ads. And this is one of the worst looking visually magazines, digital email newsletters that I've ever seen. It's called Daily Clips. So if you Google it, you'll be able to find it. Daily Clips. And I'm telling you, it's specific for industry. So the type of ads you'll see in there, it'll be for editors, newspaper reporters, digital marketing for publishers. Tons of ads in here. They're making a ton of money. Over 100,000 subscribers to the newsletter, Daily Clips. And that's a niche specific. It's an industry newsletter for executives in the publishing industry. Here's another one that I get every day. Hotel marketing, right? So hotelmarketing.com is the website, but the daily newsletter is called Hotel Marketing also. And it offers a daily mix, I'm reading, of hand curated news for hotel marketers. So what they're saying is, look, you don't need to go through 20 different websites. We're going to hand curate the news for hotel marketers, delivered direct to your inbox. We do the reading for you so you can enjoy content worth your time. Revenue streams are from ad sales, software, marketing, and employment. So they deal only with the hotel industry. So what you'll find in that newsletter, a lot of software developers and software programs advertising there. So booking software, hotel booking, web design, all types of different software, they advertise. Once again, that is an industry or trade publication. You're focusing on hotel people that market to hotels. Another one that I just started getting, and I'm not a sneaker guy, but I was really amazed by, like, one of my buddy's sons is big into selling sneakers, and that's a whole different niche in itself. Sneaker news, right? Now I'm just going to read what it says. Sneaker news is a global authority and most trusted voice in sneaker culture, providing accurate coverage of the most coveted footwear and groundbreaking industry developments. Our global audience is a loyal following of individuals that are passionate about footwear and its impactful footwear. I'm sorry. We serve an audience of over 6 million unique readers a month. I'm going to repeat that. We serve an audience of over 6 million unique readers a month, consuming over 35 million page views. Our combined social following is over 11 million strong. Now, they have a couple other newsletters, which includes Sneaker News, Jordan's Daily, Sneaker Con, Freshness Mag, Nitro, and some other stuff. But check it out. Over 11 million strong in terms of the following. 6 million unique visitors or readers a month. 35 million page views a month. And so what happens is, guys, and let me just kind of explain how this newsletter thing works. So, for example, you have your own website. That's your home base, right? Now, when you send out newsletters to people that subscribe, some of the articles, if you write the articles, will link back to your website. So if I write a blog post and I put that in my newsletter, when people get the newsletter and they click on the blog post to read it, it's going to link them right back to my website. Okay. So they're getting millions upon millions of views, and you can advertise with them on their newsletter. I didn't get the rates, but I'm sure with that type of traffic, it's freaking crazy. All right. And I mentioned another one. I get Black Enterprise Daily, right? So that links to articles on their website. And it's like good news, Black Enterprise good news. So it's always something positive. And once again, if you're doing a daily or weekly newsletter, it only needs to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe at the max, maybe 10 articles. It doesn't have to be a lot. Remember, people's they don't have time for it anymore. It's everybody is always in a rush. So, people don't have patience right now. The people, all right, let me see what the top articles are. Bam. All right, let me read these 2 or 3. And what's going to happen is, out of the 7 or 8 articles you put out there, people may only read 1 or 2, but that's cool because you're still getting traction. So, when I had my man Fred, from Media Takeout, he said, I think their number was 7 or 17. I can't remember article. Yeah, I think it was 17 articles. They found that was the sweet spot. So Media Takeout is like a TMZ for black folk. And he said, yeah, when we send out our stuff, we only have 17 articles. That's the number that we know works. And out of those 17, you may only click on 1 or 2, but you're still getting that traffic. And once again, I'll end up with smartertravel.com. They use Amazon affiliates. So once you get the traffic and people to subscribe, then you monetize by selling your own products or services, selling affiliate products or services, or creating or getting advertising revenue. So it's all about a platform. So for example, Sneaker News, right? You think that's a long game right there? You think they're going to continue to start getting people to sign up for their newsletter? Heck yeah. That's a long game. It's not predicated on Q4, you're going to sell because it's the holidays, or you're going to sell because of this. They're building a platform. And once you build the platform, the monetization, family, is endless. So if you're in it for the long game, this is a perfect example. If you have a job, right? I talked to one of the BEB family members the other day. He's in the service. He's getting out in 2 years, right? He was like, yo, I need to have something rocking and rolling when I get out in 2 years. Now, this isn't even going to take 2 years. But if you build a platform like this around something that you're passionate about, around something that you enjoy reading about, and other people, as long as other people enjoy reading about it, you're in good shape, because obviously you want to have people subscribe to the newsletter. It could be an industry publication. Hotelmarketing.com, the daily clips, daily newsletter. That's that you need to understand. That's a niche. That's a platform. Once again, if you're into sports, right? Say you're into an obscure sport, but an obscure sport may have millions of fans. So say it's field hockey, right? And you're creating a newsletter in field hockey. It goes out to maybe the parents of kids that play field hockey. Fieldhockeyparents.com. That's the website. And then you got a newsletter. Guess what? You can sell all types of gear on there. All types of products. I guarantee you a lot of the stick makers, if you have enough people subscribe, those field hockey sticks are expensive if you get the good ones. They can be upwards of $250, $300 for the good sticks. And there's a difference. So my kids tell me anyway, there was a difference. And I get it. It's just like bats or even shoes or whatever. There's a difference in the quality. So if you want something premium, normally the materials are a little more expensive. So that's the type of concept I'm talking about, guys, which is a long game. So I don't care what your hobby is, what your niche is. It could be sewing. It could be whatever. If other people want to do it or have interest in it, then you can make money. Another one podcast I listen to is called The Boxing Voice, right? Dude, I remember when dude started this years ago, and he wasn't that good when he started, but in terms of, he's been in the game 5 or 6 years now, and he quit his full-time job. He's getting sponsorship money. He's doing all kinds of stuff. He's running ads on there, and it's something that he did part-time because he loved what he did. So if you're passionate about something, if other people will plug into your platform, then you have a way to make money long-term. So for example, I'm just going to, before we close out, Smarter Travel, right? With that, they're not even creating the products. They're not even creating the content. They're taking content from all over the place about travel. And then they're putting affiliate links in. So if it's an article about a new suitcase, this new Samsonite suitcase or whatever, there's an article about it. Bam, they got a link for their affiliate link. You click on the link, you go right to Amazon, you buy it. Guess what? They get paid. None of the content they create in there is theirs. None. They don't create content. All they do is aggregate content. Now, you want to make sure when you create your brand for your newsletter, you want to make sure the content in there is, aligned with obviously your newsletter. You don't want something that may be a little outlandish, or it doesn't fit your profile of your reader. Okay. You don't want something, if you have a Christian newsletter, you don't want something in there, that's vulgar, right? It could be, whatever it is, but you want to make sure that everything is aligned and the content that you're giving them is quality content. Once again, certain sites that you go to, think about the sites that you go to all the time. Why do you go there? And what keeps you coming back? It's the content. That's it. You getting the information that you want to get. So we're talking about creating either industry publications or newsletters based around a niche, a hobby, or whatever. And that's how you can build the long game and make money constantly. Selling your own products, selling affiliate products, advertising revenue. And here's something that I used to do all the time. I actually still do it. Not as much though. So you can start off with an affiliate product, right? So say I'm creating a field hockey magazine and, I'm gearing it to parents because they're the one that is paying for the stuff. And it could be any sport. Any of y'all that know that parents that got kids playing, AAU sports, how expensive that stuff is, right? So just take the field hockey, the fictitious field hockey magazine for parents, or email newsletter for parents. So now I'm selling this one stick, this field hockey stick, $250 for the stick. I may get 10% of that as an affiliate. That's $25. Now I come out with a similar stick that my company produces. Looks very much like it, the same composition in terms of what the stick is made of. Instead of that stick being $250, this stick is $150. Now the stick may only cost me, trust me, I've looked at it. The stick may only cost me $32 to manufacture, or just say $30. I'm selling it for $150. What do I make? I make $120, and I make it without running advertising because I already got a captive market. So if you want to cut back on advertising, you just run products and or services directly to that market. And so now you're not spending money on Amazon pay-per-click. You're not spending money on Google AdWords or Bing, which is now Microsoft Ads. You're not doing that because you already have a network and a platform. I hope y'all hear me. I really hope you're listening to me. Anybody can do this. You need a website, a landing page, a lead magnet, which basically, hey, get my free newsletter. And then you need the software. It could be elink.io or rasa.io or something else that can easily create a newsletter. And I'm not talking about MailChimp and something. Those are totally different. That's a lot of work. I'm going to tell y'all, elink.io. I'm telling you, you can create literally a newsletter in freaking 10 minutes. That's it. Set it and let it rock. I'm telling you, that's something you can do. I don't care if you got 4 jobs, right? I don't care how many jobs you got. You can do that. You can slowly build up that platform. So now it's just a matter of continuing to provide quality content and giving people the products and or services that they will always buy. Long-term thinking. There's micro and then there's macro. This is macro. And I think the problem is many of us always focus on the micro because that's right in front of us. But my kids be cracking up, and my wife, oh, you forgot to do this. I said, yeah, because I'm macro. I think on the macro. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about the macro. Okay, and I know you got to handle the micro to get to the macro, but you got to have the vision of the macro so you know how to get there. If you don't have a long-term vision, your micro don't mean anything because you're not microing to the right thing. So that's what you got to focus on. This is a long game. I challenge anybody, if they follow the steps, find a niche, something they enjoy reading about or talking about or whatever, or doing, or they can create an industry publication. Now, the difference with an industry pub a lot of times is if you run a travel agency, right? And you got 100,000 subscribers to your travel newsletter. Do you think resorts and hotels would advertise in there? Yeah, because you're talking to their people. Those are the exact people that they want to connect with. Don't sleep on this, family. Don't sleep on this. So once again, today's show, how to build multiple streams of income by creating a platform. You don't have to create the content. You're bringing the content together. All right. That's all it is. You need a platform to connect with your customers and prospective customers. I'm telling you right now, this is one of the easiest concepts. It's a long game. You're not going to get rich overnight. But if you're consistent and you have quality content and you put it out there and know what you're doing, this is a game changer. I told you about Sneaker News, right? Millions of people follow them, the impressions in the millions. And I'm telling you, they're killing it right now. They have so many other verticals. And this is the beautiful thing, family. It doesn't have to stop with just that. If you have several, hobbies or niches, you can create newsletters in different, and we're talking the digital. Now, I'm not talking about no paper newsletter that you mailing out. This is all digital. It could be literally a weekly digital newsletter that has 6-7 articles in it. That's it. Articles, videos, blog posts, whatever, whatever you want to put in it. But check out elink.io and rasa.io. Now, once again, I haven't used Rasa yet. It looks good. I might use that for my next email newsletter. So before we close on out, family, I say it each and every week, please continue to spread the word about the podcast and the blog. Hey, this is a movement, family. It's about Black economic empowerment. It's about leveling up. It's about you doing what you're supposed to do and sharing that information with others. We get more and more downloads each and every week. That's because of you guys, the BEB family. Like I said, please continue to spread the word. This to me, like I said, is a mission, man. This is a mission. This is something that we need to do. It's not an option in my eyes. We need to get better. We need to continue to build wealth. We need to continue to build and support Black-owned businesses. There's no revolution without economics. Love you guys. See you same time next week. Peace.